going to be a big-time event. It's a super card, October 29th. I have with me now the combatants in perhaps the most heated rivalry the WWF has ever seen. The undisputed king of the WWF, Jerry Lawler, and former triple title holder, Bret the Hitman Hart. Now, I said undisputed king of the WWF, Jerry Lawler, but Hitman, I know you have a dispute with him, and I know people are still talking about SummerSlam.
You're sure right about that. I'd like to know who he's beaten. Who is this guy beaten to actually call himself the king? I know one thing. They stretchered you out of the SummerSlam, Jerry Lawler. They stretchered you out after I just about snapped you in half. And I don't mind telling you right here, right now to your face, that I hate your guts. I look forward to a rematch. I look forward to a rematch, and if anybody deserves to have a grudge match with you, it's me, because I got a grudge against you. And I look forward to doing it in Nassau Coliseum. I am going to obliterate you. I am going to wipe you out. I am going to destroy you, Jerry Lawler. You're nothing but scum.
Well, I'm sorry if I don't look scared, but it's because I'm not.
You will be.
Let me tell you something, Bret Hart. You want to talk about hate? If hate was written on every grain of sand in the Sahara Desert, that wouldn't equal the hate I have for you and your whole stinking family. I want you to bring them all down to the Nassau Coliseum. Your feeble old man and your wrinkled up old mother and all of those illiterate brothers and sisters, and sit them at ringside, because I want them to be right there with all the rest of the peons in the Nassau Coliseum when they see who is the one and only undisputed king of the World Wrestling Federation.
We had a whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's
word attack skills and vocabulary too. Comprehension of this edition is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
Yo, once again, it is time to record Ring Time Pro Wrestling. We are a little late this week on the show. To be honest with you, I just wasn't feeling like it, and just didn't have the time. And, you know, it's been a lot going on this past few weeks. The heart's been kind of heavy with the recent events that have went on across the country, in Louisiana, Minnesota. I hated to see the shooting in Dallas. Hey, man, it's just hard out there right now. But I am here to talk about something a little more lighthearted, the wonderful world of professional wrestling. It is my time. Just to give you a window of where this is going on, it's the middle of the night, or Saturday going into Sunday. UFC 200 has just ended. Brock Lesnar successfully defeated Mark Hunt. So he has a UFC win under his belt before he goes into SummerSlam to face one Randall Keith Orton. We will get more into that later on in the show. Also, just ran about a UFC 200. Misha Tate got choked out. Yeah. Here's the thing, man. You can tell MMA is real, because they don't get to get their big money rematch. Even though they want to set it up, they never get it. Because guess what happens? The person who's supposed to be there for the rematch, they ready. But the winner of the title, they not. They get beat the next time out. Holly Holm beat Ronda Rousey. So the big rematch is you got to wait for Holly Holm to face Ronda Rousey again. Holly Holm got beat by Misha Tate. Okay, hey, Misha Tate, who's lost to Ronda Rousey twice, it'd be nice if Misha Tate could beat Ronda Rousey as a champ. So she beat the lady who beat Ronda Rousey. Nope. She got choked out. Or could Misha Tate get her revenge? Could Holly Holm get a revenge on Misha Tate? Really don't matter now. Got a new champ. So, hey, I don't know who's booking this, but hey, you might want to get if the champ ain't ready to face for the rematch, you might want to investigate this secondary opponent that they facing. But, you know, neither here nor there. Dana White know how to run his business. He's very successful at it. He pulled off a credible card at UFC 200, even with his main event falling apart because John Bones Jones went out. Now, it's kind of funny I'm talking MMA, because what I've always tried to do with this show is really delineate the worlds of wrestling and MMA, even though I know a lot of wrestling shows cover MMA. Ring Time Pro Wrestling has just never been that one. We have never really, honestly, just covered MMA. Yeah, two of the big reasons we separate MMA here and wrestling is pretty much one. I don't really, like, I watch MMA and I watch a lot of UFC, but I'm not like deep in MMA. Like, I don't watch a lot of Bellator. I don't watch a lot of up-and-coming stuff. Like, I can't tell you who does what stylistically and why that's better or whatever. I just know who I like. And I usually watch the major UFC events. Two, pro wrestling and MMA are totally different, man. Pro wrestling is a scripted outcome with the violence itself, we know that it's there, but it's just different. It's a different beast, right? Like, we book a winner and figure out how we're going to get there in wrestling. In MMA, we don't know what's going to happen. And I'm not going to merge the two like they're the same. They have similarities. I think MMA used some of the things from pro wrestling, like the promos and the things of that nature, and understands the idea of familiarity and generating a rooting interest in its competitors to garner a profit. But other than that, no. So yeah, I keep them separately. I keep it different. I really don't cover MMA too much, like I said, because I'm not deep into MMA. I know some people. I watch people I like. I know what I like about them style. The styles that I do like. Generally, people I tend to gravitate to are ex-wrestlers because I'm a former amateur wrestler. Other than that, I don't know. But that's it. I talk about it when it's relevant to the show because, let's say we were talking about CM Punk. CM Punk's a former pro wrestler, and pro wrestling fans are very enamored with what CM Punk is doing. And CM Punk can't keep his mouth shut about professional wrestling and the people that he used to work for. And he likes to run people in the ground. So I like to point out some things about him sometime. Brock is an active WWE competitor, which is the first time we've ever had that happen, right? So he's an active guy on the roster who now takes part in MMA. And I think this match, it was something he wanted to prove to himself, and quiet as kept. I think the WWE liked the publicity bump. I don't think they knew the potential of having that publicity bump. Now, we'll see how UFC works with it. But, I think UFC have always been aware of that. The publicity bump comes from the guys who've already had the exposure and have millions of fans already built in from already being on television. So, that being said, like I said, UFC 200 was interesting, but let's get on to the wrestling for the week. We start the week off Monday, July the 4th. Patriotism, America. And the WWE always do these things big. They are very big on being patriotic. They had the annual barbecue / party, which always devolves into a food fight. Lilian Garcia sung a rousing rendition of the national anthem. Every time she sings it, she knocks it out the park. Remember a few months ago when there was rumors that she was going to be gone? I guess those are false. Because Lilian don't seem like she's going nowhere, nor should she. Great part of the company, great ambassador for the company. So, I dig all things Lilian Garcia. The first match opens up with Rusev defending the U.S. title of all things on July the 4th against Titus O'Neil. Titus made it to the ring looking like Apollo Creed Circle Rocky 4. It looked good. I mean, it was a good back and forth for a while. I don't know where this feud is going. We probably need to put a pin in it at this point. Titus got some good offense, but he ends up tapping out to the Accolade. So, yes, the guy dressed in American flag gear taps out to the Accolade on July the 4th. Good job on the booking. Charlotte has a face-off with Sasha Banks. I thought it went well. Sasha landed that Banks statement on Charlotte, And I think these guys are going to be intense. But watching Sasha always get the upper hand leads me to believe when they actually face off, Charlotte's going to come out on top. Right now, Sasha always gets the upper hand. Even 1-on-2, she finds a way to get the upper hand. And I think that's going to stop shortly. Dean Ambrose has an easy match against Miz. Rollins has a match after that with Ziggler, which is a crazy thing. And they end up going at it after the match. Rollins talks more bad about Roman Reigns, saying, why is he here? He shouldn't be on the pay-per-view. Right? Because I don't know what the substance was. And, you know what I mean? It's kind of easy to say, oh, he shouldn't be there, but we don't know what the substance was. Like, if it was like a diuretic that caused him to test positive, I'm very more sympathetic towards that. But people got to be more responsible, and they got to make sure that they know everything they ingested. But yeah, Rollins, wailed on Roman, and I'd be nice to see how everybody ends after the match. After all three of them go in that ring and somebody comes out with the belt, how do they all interact now? Because for a long time it's been Roman and Dean, and Seth has been on his island because Seth is the betrayer. But I want to see now what happens when everybody has something at stake and everybody's for themselves. So that's what's going with that. But going forward, the Bullet Club made their presence felt with John Cena, and AJ told everybody what he likes to do. He likes to beat up John Cena. To the point, a trending topic on Twitter the past couple of days is beat up John Cena. Probably not the ideal thing you all want to do. Don't think you really want to sign up for that. I know I don't. Not even to try. But AJ and them can do it on wrestling because they're in the confines of professional wrestling. Don't try that in the real world. Well, here's the thing. So Enzo and Cass are now part of Team John Cena to stop John Cena from getting beat down horribly every week now because he doesn't have to face all three members of the club. Now, I'll say this. Giving it a little parody makes sense. I don't know if Enzo and Cass are going to go into a program with Gallows and Anderson, but I'll say this. I kind of feel bad for Enzo and Cass. And why do I feel bad for? Because teams that generally end up backing up John Cena don't do well after. Crime Time, Usos, we go down the line. Also, Usos backed up Roman Reigns, didn't do well for him after that. Here's the thing. There takes you out of the active thing, which is trying to be tag team champions. Because nothing about this feud is getting you close to a tag team title. Now, the club, when they're done with AJ, they'll go around and wreak havoc. They'll be okay. But the John Cena backup dancers, not much to do after that. They'll climb back up the ranks. I think they're very talented. Enzo provides another mic guy in the clique, so it'd be nice for him to get on the mic and do his thing, because we got some haters. Big Cass and Gallows, kind of go with those two big man things. There's some things that are good about it, but like I said, I kind of more worry about Enzo and Cass because I think they were on the right track and on the right trajectory to get towards those tag team titles. This is going to derail them for a little while, and I hope it doesn't derail them for a long time. Even though ain't a lot of movement going on with the belts anyway, because if you watch the New Day and their segment with the Wyatts, I don't know if it's going to be about the belts or not. And also, hey man, is Xavier Woods scared? Like, he's scared of the Wyatt family? They always make him look crazy when Bray come on and start talking, and then he looked like he in a trance. Then he told his boys they need to take this serious and stop playing. Hey man, that's how they play, right? So, I don't know. And is this the end of the New Day? Are we coming down to where maybe we go our different ways with the New Day? Because we got a draft coming in 9 days. And that's something we have to realize. So with a draft coming in 9 days, you know, are there some things that we like going to be shaken up? That could be one of them. We could be seeing the demise of some of our favorite teams. So with that being said, all in all, Raw was decent. The feel-good moment at the end, Team USA beat the multinational team. The multinational team, to me, looked like a better wrestling team, but the U.S. team had the size and the girth, which ultimately served a good purpose when you had Big Show knocking people out at the end. But the winning pinfall was to one Mr. Zack Ryder, who is having a hell of a week. Because Zack also, fast forward to Thursday, beat Sheamus in one-on-one competition on SmackDown. And I mean one-on-one like no help. Did nobody come down? It was just Zack Ryder. Like, could we be seeing another Zack Ryder push? Is he, like, in line for something? Or is he in line to become food for somebody? I don't know. But whatever it is, it's always good to see Zack Ryder winning. And that's always fun. That's it for the first part of the show. This is probably going to be the shortest show we've done in a long time. But come back on the second end, and we will talk some Cruiserweight tournament and what's going on in the news, and that's about it. So check back with us on the back half. Peace.
Hulk Hogan is here! Hulk Hogan's here! Hulk Hogan is in the building! You're damn right he is! Go get him, Hulkster! Yeah, but whose side is he on? What are you talking about? Whose side is he on? What are you talking about? Yes, sir! Get him, Hogan! Go get him, baby! Come on and get some of this now. Who's bad now, boys? Hulk Hogan arrived. Hulk. What is he doing? My God! Is he the third man? He's the third man! What the hell is going on here? Hulk Hogan has been
These people here and a lot of other people around the world have had just about enough of this man, and you want to put yourself in this group? You've got to be kidding me.
Well, the first thing you gotta realize, brother, is this right here is the future of wrestling. You can call this the new world order of wrestling, brother. These two men right here came from a great big organization up north, and everybody was wondering who the third man was. Well, who knows more about that organization than me, brother?
I've been there, I've done that. You have made the wrong decision, in my opinion.
Well, let me tell you something. I made that organization a monster. I made people rich up there. I made the people that ran that organization rich up there, brother. And when it all came to pass, the name Hulk Hogan, the man Hulk Hogan, got bigger than the whole organization, brother. And then billionaire Ted, amigo, he wanted to talk turkey with Hulk Hogan. Well, billionaire Ted promised me movies, brother. Billionaire Ted promised me millions of dollars. And billionaire Ted promised me world caliber matches. And as far as billionaire Ted goes, Eric Bischoff and the whole WCW goes, I'm bored, brother. That's why these two guys here, the so-called outsiders, these are the men I want as my friends. They're the new blood of professional wrestling, brother. And not only are we going to take over the whole wrestling business with Hulk Hogan and the new blood, the monsters with me, we will destroy everything in our path, Mean Gene.
Look at all of this crap in this ring. This is what's in the future for you if you want to hang around the likes of this man Hall and this man Nash.
As far as I'm concerned, all of this crap in the ring represents these fans out here. For 2 years, brother, for 2 years, I held my head high. I did everything for the charities. I did everything for the kids. And the reception I got when I came out here, you fans can stick it, brother. Because if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, you people wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan.
So we are here for the wonderful birthday segment. Strange Wrestling had a lot of birthdays in this 3-day stretch. If you go back yesterday to July 9th, famous Mark Merrow, or my favorite guy, Johnny B. Bad, celebrated a birthday. Kevin Nash, Hall of Famer, celebrated a birthday yesterday. Today, Shelton Benjamin celebrated a birthday yesterday. Shout out to one half of the world's greatest tag team. Johnny Grunge celebrates a birthday today. Tomorrow, July 11th, Tyson Kidd celebrates a birthday. Tyson Kidd turns 36. King Kong Bundy celebrates a birthday tomorrow. Bundy will be 69 if I'm reading this right. No, Bundy will be 59. I'm sorry. Ooh, I almost made Bundy 70 years old. No, Bundy will be 59. He's getting close to 60. Then the day after, which will be Tuesday, Hurricane Helms celebrates a birthday. The Hurricane will be 42. It's a hurricane coming through. Sami Zayn celebrates a birthday. Sami Zayn is going to be 32 on Tuesday. Brock Lesnar, yes, the winner of last night's, or tonight's UFC 200 and Randy Orton's opponent at SummerSlam. Yes, Brock celebrates a birthday. Brock is about to be 39. Am I reading this right? 1977. So, yeah, 39. Wow. Can you believe Brock's 39, man? And if you want to go further into the week, the day after that, which would be Wednesday, X-Pac celebrates a birthday. X-Pac is going to be 44. Yeah. So that's it for the birthdays, and on to the news. So just cracking the news. We already know Randy Orton, in his first match back, will face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Should be a huge event. If you already kick it off with that in the lineup for SummerSlam, and we ain't even got to the main event, we know we're doing good for the show. Cody Rhodes is to write a book about the life of his great dad, Dusty Rhodes. One of the things that he was mad about that got leaked out was that he was working on a Legends deal with the WWE. In that Legends deal, he will get a chance to sell some Stardust content, Stardust, and Cody Rhodes memorabilia and all kinds of stuff like that. Still keep making money on that merch, which Cody also gets a check. But also, they can, will help him out with some footage and stuff that he needs to finish the book that he's working on for his dad. And I think they're going to help him out with the book. That's why he kind of has the Legends deal going on with them now. TNA, in an unsurprising move, decided, hey, Tuesday night too hot. There will be no Tuesday night wars. No, not that there would be a war anyway because they'd get stomped out. They said, look, SmackDown going to go live on Tuesday. Thursday seems like a good place to do a show. Which they moved to Tuesday from Thursday with SmackDown with Thursday from Friday. But yes, TNA is going back to Thursdays on Pop TV. Still will be on Pop TV. Speaking of TNA, so many of my friends out there have sent me this video and said, hey, Keith, you need to watch this. Most notably Rashadi, host of a single simulcast. I said, okay, what do we have out here? It's the Hardy versus Hardy video from Final Deletion. And this video aired July 5th on TNA television. And I'm going to say, okay, does TNA want us to take the Hardys seriously? Because if they do, this is not the way. This is not the way. I mean, no. It can't be this. Like, I thought the last video was horrible. You know the one where Rebby runs in and tosses the fake baby to Jeff. Yeah, that one. So mind you, the first video is a contract signing. And when you search for it, just search Hardy versus Hardy contract signing. Don't search baby toss. Because apparently, there's a lot of baby toss videos on YouTube. You people are sick out there. But yeah. Man, watching the final deletion, I was just like, what am I watching? One thing I did get out of both of those videos, the Hardys made a lot of money in wrestling. Because Jeff, I mean, I knew Matt's house is nice. I've seen it on the DVD before, but whew. That's a nice spread out there in Carolina. And Jeff got a nice little spread himself, too. Like, they did all right for themselves. And it's some nice camera angles on some of the shots, like with them coming into the house and showing up at the house. But after that, it goes to shit. I'm like I said, they can't expect us to take this serious. Please tell me this is all a joke. And they just bored. Yeah, but could you imagine, like, one of the people that TNA owe money to watching that video and being mad as hell? Because it's like, man, that's where my money going? They got drones chasing Jeff Hardy. And then one drone stops and there's a hologram that come out the drone and it's Matt Hardy. Like, hey, man, we went well past wrestling at some point. Like, I know wrestling don't have a lot of boundaries, but we went well past wrestling at some point. Like, we jumped into, like, a really bad sci-fi show. Yeah. I mean, like, somebody need to get fired. That's how bad those videos are. Somebody trying to get fired. Is Matt and Jeff trying to get out of their TNA contracts and they thinking, like, turning this in gonna help them? Because I don't think TNA that smart. Look, when I say TNA ain't that smart, I mean this. They ain't gonna let the Hardys go. You know what I mean? Even if they was trying. They thought it was good. They aired it. Or maybe they just feel like that's all we had and we had to go with it. But if you air it, to me, you either think it's good or you ain't that great to run a television program. Because if that's all we got, man, we got to go something else. We done recorded something else. I'm not putting that on air. Like I said, that was ridiculous, man. Like I said, we got drones coming after Jeff. We got holograms just to get to a ring where a ref done showed up at the house and it's just shenanigans. You got the baby there. Matt sitting there like he owned some eccentric Donald Trump stuff. It's just all over the place. That place is going down the tubes, man. I don't know. Like, but somehow they still survive. I can't put my finger on it. Somehow they still survive. And then I will turn around about 3 months and tell you that they putting on some good programming. Because they had a propensity to somehow start putting on some good wrestling all of a sudden. Then when you start really digging them, they find a way to screw it up. That is the life story of TNA. Hey, just rolling with it. Also in the news this week, it was the 20th anniversary of the NWO. The group that changed wrestling forever. Kevin Nash, Hogan, and Scott Hall. If you know the story, back in 96, Hall and Nash left the WWF, went to WCW, ran an invasion angle as if the WWE was invading the WCW, and hey, there was a third man. Nobody knew who the third man was. And then Hogan came down to the ring, and he was supposed to help save WCW. Then he dropped a leg on Macho Man, and that was the first time the eccentric Hulk Hogan character ever turned heel. Well, not ever turned heel. Sorry. He was a heel before he was famous. But since he was famous, this is the first time he went heel. So nobody really knew a bad guy Hulk Hogan then. And it altered the shape of wrestling. Two things happened. One, WCW started kicking the WWE butt in the Monday Night Wars and the ratings. Second, because of the way Turner was setting up their contracts, it forced the WWE to start handing out guaranteed contracts. It also forced the Attitude Era because WWE had to realize they had to change their format. WCW was appealing to a more sophisticated, slightly older audience who wasn't there to see clowns and trash men and stuff like that. So Vince had to start deviating away from his characters per se and let the wrestlers inject more than real selves. But that's when you got the rise of a Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's when you got The Rock. That's when you know, Mankind. Triple H emerges during that time. So DX comes about during that time. But yeah, that's the thing that alters the course of history. it puts the Monday Night Wars in fierce competition where, look, somebody had to go. And eventually it was WCW. But, yeah, so that happened. News in the WWE. The WWE is set to launch a graphic novel and comic book series. Only thing I got for that is finally somebody gets it. Man, all the stuff they used to run with Stardust and Neville and stuff like that, I'm like, man, a comic book would be aces. Not to mention, this is my personal and my social media feed, and a lot of people that I follow and know, a lot of people who like wrestling are into comic books. And what do you sell in wrestling? Larger-than-life heroes, you know what I mean? Trying to conquer, this. You're selling a story already in wrestling. So why not monetize it? These guys are like real-life comic book characters. Like I said, finally somebody got it. And I don't know if they were just waiting for the right deal commercially, or if it was just somebody finally at the office said, hey, man, we can make some bread on this. That's like the biggest thing that's cracking these days is these comic books. I really don't know. But, glad to see that they jumped on board and they doing this. Other than that, ain't a lot else going on in wrestling. If you watch NXT Wednesday, and after NXT, they did the bracketology for the Cruiserweight tournament. So, yes, we have official brackets for the Cruiserweight tournament, and we know who will be facing who. This thing kicks off on January 13th, which would be Wednesday by my estimation. I said July 13th. Oh, sorry. July 13th. I hope I didn't say January earlier in the show. We're doing birthdays. July 13th is when this kicks off. Now, the round of 32 kicks off July 13th, but quiet as kept, those matches were pre-taped. So, I know the winners, and that sucks. That really sucks. I thought it was going to be live, but I guess they didn't want to go live. So, we'll get through the round of 32. Then we head to the round of 16. The round of 16 will be taped July 14th. I'm not sure when it's going to air. The quarterfinals will be taped August 26th. The semifinals on the 14th and the finals on the 14th. Let's look at here. So, yeah. So they'll be set to air July 13th, August 26th, and September 14th. They actually air everything. So we'll see how it all turns out. A few people I thought would advance to the second round did. I can't really give you a favorite. I like Kota Ibushi to go far because I know they want to do big things in the Japanese market. I like Johnny Gargano to go far because it's kind of funny they got him and Tommaso Ciampa facing each other in the first round. But, neither here nor there. I like Johnny to go far because I think they got high hopes for him. Zack Sabre Jr., I think they got high hopes for him. So we'll see how it all turns out. So we'll tune in Wednesday. And probably what I'll do Wednesday is we'll do a recap show right after. And we'll cover NXT, we'll cover Raw, and we'll talk about what happened in the Cruiserweight tournament. I might even go live that day. But with that, I'm going to wrap this up. Like I said, it's going to be a short show. Probably less than 30 minutes in the end. Hope you enjoyed. And we'll be back. Keisha will be back sometime soon. And just kick it and enjoy. Peace.